If you're here to research your upcoming trip to Kenya, then look no further. We're Field of Visions, a family that's been travelling the world since March 2022, and we've just spent an epic month travelling across the whole of Kenya. You could say we've learned a few things along the way, so we're putting together a comprehensive guide to travelling Kenya, and it's arguably the best one that you've seen to date. Now, just about everyone will be arriving into Nairobi International Airport, so before you leave, it's worth taking out some money at the ATM, which is right outside the arrivals area, and get your SIM card sorted here too. It's the same price as any other phone shop that you would get across Kenya, so it's worth getting it sorted first. We use Safaricom and it served us really well even in the most remotest areas of Kenya. Now, when people arrive into Nairobi, they skip this city and head straight to the safaris, but we recommend spending at least 2 nights exploring this place. We stayed in the Westlands area, which has a range of gated apartments that you can book via Airbnb. The prices are slightly higher, however, you do get the modern luxuries in a secure environment. Now, after resting up, it's time to explore. Now, this was our first full day on the continent of Africa, so we were a little bit worried about security, being victims of the mainstream media. But as soon as we headed out to explore, everything was the opposite. We started the day off exploring the Central Business District, also known as CBD. The area around Jamia Masjid is a great place to start your exploration. We met so many friendly locals in the masjid when I went to pray, and they continued to show us around the local area. There's some really delicious restaurants around the local area. Kilimanjaro, which is right around the corner from Jamia Mosque, was our favorite place, which serves up delicious Swahili food at reasonable prices. Spend the afternoon walking around the streets and don't be shy to talk to locals. After walking around, we were told by one of the locals that the Maasai Mara Market was on. Now, this market is only on once a week on a Saturday, and it just so happened to be a Saturday, so we had to head down. This market is full of local people who travel from nearby villages selling items that they made by their very own hands. Here you can buy paintings, masks, jewelry. It's a great place to stop by and get those souvenirs and gifts for loved ones. If the city is not your thing, then we have an alternative for you. Located about an hour's drive outside of Nairobi is the Eco Treehouse. This treehouse is built within a huge farm run by an amazing family that is passionate about producing the best tasting fruits. From the freshest mangoes that you can eat whole to the brightest dragon fruits with the most distinct flavor. This is the perfect place to unwind away from a busy city and get one with nature. Here we tasted some of the most delicious mangoes, picked fresh fruits right from the plantations, and got to learn how the whole farm is run sustainably using only organic fertilizer and natural growing methods. After a long walk around the plantation, it was a breath of fresh air cooking our own food using the in-house barbecue that was set up by the workers. Nearly all people visiting Kenya go there for the amazing safaris, and the Maasai Mara is a must. Plan to spend at least 3 nights here for the perfect amount of time to give you 2 full days to go on your game drives. It is expensive, but with some research and picking the right places to stay, you can save some money and do it at a reasonable price. Given this was a last minute trip for us, and we went in the peak season when the Great Migration was in full swing, we did end up spending a lot of money, but it was one of the most amazing experiences we had in our travels to date. We had an amazing driver, Tony, who picked us up from Nairobi and was our guide for the next 3 days. We drove 5 hours to our hotel right on the outskirts of the Maasai Mara Secondary Gate. Castle Mara was the accommodation we booked, and I have to say the staff made our stay. The rooms were very comfortable and the setup of the tents is something so unique, but the staff went above and beyond to give us the most comfortable stay ever. They even ushered us in the morning at the crack of dawn each day from our luxury tent to our 4x4 ready to start our safari. Over the next 3 days, we got to witness some of the most beautiful animals the wild has to offer. Thousands of zebras, wildebeest, tall, beautiful giraffes, elephants, cheetahs, lions, hyenas, and antelopes, you name them all. But we were so lucky to witness one of the most rarest sightings, a leopard casually walking across the plains and right by our vehicle. It was an exciting, exhilarating moment, and even our driver was so chuffed because it is so rare. Given that it was migration season, we pitched up to see if we could catch a river crossing. However, for 3 days, luck was not on our side and we didn't get to see a crossing. However, that didn't dampen the mood as we got to see some of the rarest animals such as leopards right close to us. We finished the last day off visiting a local Maasai Mara village to witness how the tribe lives. The tribe's chief explained what they eat and how the locals live, and I even had a little jump off with the tribesmen and eventually was inaugurated as a member of the village and given my Maasai name, Oliashorwa. The driver cost us 1,200 in total. This included pick up and drop off to Nairobi as well as 2 full days worth of game drives. The hotel cost us around $1,500 in total for 3 nights, and that's full board. We didn't really spend anything else in the days when we were at the hotel, as it included snacks, teas, coffees, and even a cheeky bush breakfast that the hotel kindly set up for us. So if you're looking to go on a safari and you want to do it slightly cheaper, definitely give Castel Mara a call and they will arrange everything for you. So after spending 3 amazing nights exploring the Maasai Mara and going on safaris, we were dropped off back to Nairobi, where we spent a couple of days resting before heading to our next place. One thing to note is if you are traveling around Kenya, it's definitely worth hiring a car to get about. The roads are safe and the car rental is pretty reasonable. We paid around $35 a night for a big Toyota Prado, which is perfect for those off-road driving if you want to do some self-drive safaris. Union Rent a Car was the company that we used, and they're located in Westlands. Great service, great prices, and really good cars, so I definitely recommend using them. So after a night's rest in Nairobi, we picked up our hire car and headed to our next destination, Naivasha. It's around an hour and a half's drive from Nairobi, and here we spent 2 nights exploring the local areas and the national park, but if you arrive early enough you could easily do it in 1 night. Our first stop was going to Camp Carnelli's, a beautiful restaurant with some amazing views of Lake Naivasha. Walk around the grounds and take in the natural beauty and finish off the evening with some delicious dinner at the restaurant. We went for the grilled chicken kebabs and a pizza made in a wood fire oven. Would definitely recommend this place. The prices are reasonable and the service is absolutely amazing. After getting dinner, we rested up for the night at one of the many Airbnbs in the local areas for some serious exercise the next day. There's many hiking activities that you can do here, but we opted to go for a cycle around the Hell's Gate National Park. Get yourself a tour guide at the entrance of the park who will take you around all the best spots and finish off with a rest at the stunning viewpoint. Here you can get a full view of Lake Naivasha in all its glory. One thing to note, it can get a little bit dusty in Naivasha, so just make sure you have laundry arrangements available at your accommodation or just somewhere where you can do your laundry in your next hotel. Our next stop is Nakuru, which is a 2-hour drive north from Naivasha, and 2 nights here is more than enough to explore the nearby national park. A self-drive safari is a great option here as the roads are really simple to follow around. They circle the national park and there's little room to get lost. This park is known to attract thousands of flamingos during a specific time of the year when the algae in the water is at high levels, attracting these brightly pink coloured birds to flock and nest here. Other than flamingos and riding a bike around the Hell's Gate National Park in Naivasha, there's not really much else to do. So if you're stuck for time and budget, you can easily miss Naivasha and Nakuru out from your itinerary. On our last adventure around the national parks of Kenya, we visited Amboselli National Park. It's a 4-hour drive from Nairobi and majority of it is off-road, so getting a big 4x4 was the right choice. Here we stayed for 2 nights at the Wild Amboselli Lodge. The great thing about this place is that it's around a 10-minute drive from the main entrance of the national park, making it a convenient place to get up and do our self-game drive for the day. We drove to the entrance, paid our entrance fees and decided to just follow one of the many vehicles starting their journey for the day. Soon as we entered the park, we were greeted with pink flamingos standing right next to us, and our immediate thought was we could have missed Nakuru off the list. But nevertheless, while driving deeper into the park, we witnessed the friendly giants of Africa, elephants, groups and groups of them walking around and grazing, and this was an amazing sight. Driving further into the park, we saw more zebras, more giraffes, but the excitement started when we followed the safari vehicles to a potential killing. We saw a group of little cubs following their mother across the road and 2 big lions resting, but unfortunately no kill. The park was closing at 6 p.m, so we made our way back, and just as we exited the park, we couldn't believe what our eyes saw. A lioness sitting by the road and eating her kill with no other vehicle in sight. This made the visit to Amboselli that much more special and all the more worth it for us, so definitely give this park a visit too. While your adventures visiting the national parks of Kenya draw to a close, the next stage of your adventure begins, exploring the beautiful beaches of Kenya. Malindi and Watamu are a great place to start. Easily connected from Nairobi airport via a 1-hour flight, these coastal towns really do give you the best beaches across Kenya. To make your stay enjoyable, we'd recommend staying at either the Middle Creek Hotel or the Che Chalet for at least 3 nights. However, we'd recommend staying for more if time allows you. While the Middle Creek gives you zen-like feels with a beautiful pool and activities such as kayaking, head over to Che Chalet if you really want to disconnect from the world. This beachside resort is truly Kenya's best kept secret. The food, the accommodation, the facilities, and the most beautiful beach makes this place a great getaway. The owner, Justin, is passionate about crab farming, and the restaurant serves up the freshest mud crabs you will ever have. We're not really much of a seafood people, but these were to die for. While Gussie, who runs the main hotel, has everything on point. All the dishes in the restaurant are great, the rooms are absolutely beautiful, and the service there is just second to none. Spend a few days here just relaxing from the busy game drives and unwind with a stroll around the beach, or watch the sun go down over the beautiful Coconut Tree Hill. Malindi town is another great beachside area which has a very unique feel to it. It's home to over 5,000 Italians who immigrated here and settled down, making this Kenya's very own Little Italy. There's plenty of restaurant options nearby, but we'd recommend going to Pizza O for some delicious, authentic Italian pizza and espresso, and right next door is Rosada's. This place has a beach club vibe to it. During the day, it's a chill out area where you can lie down on the beach beds, and at night it turns into a party scene, so definitely check this out if you're in the Malindi area. Now, before we finish off our Kenya adventure, we're going to spend 2 nights exploring the city of Mombasa. Here you'll find a mixture of Portuguese and Arab influences, as over the years Arabs used Mombasa port as a trade route, and the Portuguese took over when Vasco da Gama landed here in the 18th century. Over the years, different European nations have waged war at this strategic location, and the dark history is clearly evident. The old town is full of a combination of Arab and African influence, paying homage to the Arabs that lived here for hundreds of years. It's interesting to see the influence here is not only in the building, but also in the food. And the best way to experience this is take an evening food tour around the streets of Mombasa. We started the day off with some delicious fried potato patties made by a lovely woman that was sat by the side of the street. As we ventured deeper into the town, we had some amazing shawarmas and drank tea like the local with a view of the amazing river. We finished off the day with some sugarcane juice as well as some fried cassava chips that were so crispy they leave you wanting for more. After spending some time relaxing in Watamu and Malindi, it was time to pop on a flight and head over to Lamu. Recommended by the owners at Che Chalet, this is a small seaside fishing village that is so unique to the rest of Kenya. Getting a flight from Malindi is the best way to reach this place, and once you arrive you'll have to get a boat across the river, but there are plenty of porters to help you with your luggage, or your hotel can make arrangements. Shella is the perfect area to spend 2 nights exploring the local neighborhood. In the morning, hop across to Mandalay Island and spend the day relaxing at Majlis Hotel, taking in the views of the town and enjoying the pristine beaches. In the evening, finish off with dinner at Peponi restaurant for some delicious food. The following day, head into Lamu town and take a walk around the narrow, windy streets to get the true Lamu feeling. Be warned though, you will get stopped from time to time asking if you want a tour guide. Politely decline and just carry on walking. To get away from the hustle and bustle, we walked around the back streets until we were semi-lost, but found ourselves walking through the local market, and here we had a conversation with some of the lovely shop owners who kind of gave us directions of where to go. Finding your way back is really easy. There's only really 2 directions, one walking uphill deeper and deeper into the town, or downhill towards the port. If you happen to be in Lamu on a Friday, we'd definitely recommend checking out Mangrove Restaurant for their special biryani, which is only served on a Friday afternoon. You have to head there early though, because before 2 p.m. it's all sold out. And you can thank us in the comment section below later. Our last stop exploring the coastal regions will be the beautiful beaches of Diani. 2 to 3 nights here is a perfect way to get the beach vibes one last time, and if you've been craving something a bit more touristy, then this is the place. A long stretch of fine sandy beaches lined with resorts. There's a place to stay for everyone. There's beachside boys selling coconuts to people offering you camel rides. It's definitely a change from all the other stops across the coast of Kenya. The great thing about Diani is that there's a big Carrefour supermarket which has all the essentials to make home cooked food if you're a bit tired of eating out every single day. We decided to stay at an Airbnb which had a kitchen, 2 bedrooms and an amazing view, so we made full use of the Carrefour market. If cooking isn't your thing, then there's restaurants serving all types of cuisines from Mexican, Italian and even Cuban. But one place that you have to check out is Ali Baba's cave. As the name suggests, the restaurant is built in a cave that's believed to be between 120 to 180,000 years old. There's 2 dinner servings here, 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. and reservations are recommended. The food was impeccable and luckily fully halal. It is a little on the pricier side, but it's well worth the visit for those special occasions or just a romantic evening out. Now, if you've had your fair share of beaches and want to get into the countryside, then around a 45-minute drive from Diani is Shimba Lodge. Overlooking the Shimba Hills National Reserve and Elephant Sanctuary, this lodge has a pool to relax in and breathtaking views. There's a few hiking trails nearby, but we spent the day just walking around the grounds and taking in the amazing views. If you want a little bit of a break from the beaches, Marafa Hell's Kitchen is one of the best kept secrets along the Kenyan coast. This hidden gem is located 40 kilometers from Malindi in a quiet town of Marafa. The place is known locally as Nyari, which translates to the place broken by itself, and this is because the depression formed naturally over thousands of years through harsh weather. Surprisingly, some of the gorges often take shape as if someone sculpted them. Today, it's a beautiful sandstone canyon with colourfully layered gorges. The colours range from white, pink, orange and crimson, making it a wonderful sight, especially at sunset. In fact, the place earned its name as Hell's Kitchen because it can get up to 50 degrees Celsius during the day, according to our tour guide. Marafa Hell's Kitchen is managed by the local community. There is an entrance fee of 700 shillings for citizens and 1,000 for foreigners. The price is inclusive of guide fees and it takes around 45 minutes to drive from Malindi town. So it's definitely worth visiting this place if you have a day or evening spare. So that's the end of our trip here in Kenya. While most people fly back from Mombasa due to its international connections, many opt to spend one last night in Nairobi before returning home. However you decide to do it, we'd love to hear what you thought of this video and how your travels in Kenya went. We hope this guide was useful and gave you some tips on your next trip to Kenya, but for now, follow your visions and we'll see you on the next one.